Right, so getting this started here, we have Mal's mid, and what elo are we in, Drew?
Silver 5.
Silver 5, alright, cool. So, getting this started here, what do you feel like your win conditions are?
For this game, I felt like Malzahar is really good against Annie, so I didn't think I would have much problem just scaling up to level 6 and killing her with my ult. And then I just really thought like scaling up and making sure that Jax didn't anytime that Jax hard dove onto the team, I could just ult him and make sure that he died, and I just figured we would kind of auto win team fights.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I definitely agree. Well, one, like, Mal's against Annie, I definitely agree. Mal's is generally pretty safe against Annie, so it could be a solid pick. I definitely think that Mal's would be a solid pick against the enemy team as well, because you can prevent dives like on Jax or Tryndamere, or even like ult and Annie that flashes into your team even before she gets Tibbers off is like a real possibility.
Yeah, another thing that going into this game that I was thinking a lot about was Tryndamere ultimate. Was when I see him ultimate, I can just pin him down while he's in it and make sure that he dies and stuff like that. So just trade it out.
Yeah, you have the luxury of kind of picking a lot of options here in this game. And yeah, in Malzahar in general, in terms of Jesus. Merc, thanks for the sub. I forgot to turn off Twitch alerts, but it's fine. Actually, I think I'll leave them. It doesn't matter. All right, so getting back into this. Jesus Christ, that scared me so bad. Now, in terms of the early game, Malzahar is just like a farming type of laner. He doesn't. It's not like he wants to make any kind of rooms or anything like that for the most part. So we don't really have to focus on that much. So we'll get started here. But now, while we're walking around and getting things in here, God, I need to turn that volume down. I did. It's half of what it used to be. Literally half of what it was before. Okay. I have to put a volume warning in the YouTube video now for this. Okay. So anyways, level 1. Let's see your level 1 scouting. All right. I'm seeing a trend here. I'm seeing a trend here from the last 2 silver mid laners. Irelia is doing something. So, again, generally, you want to provide some kind of useful vision. What I'll typically suggest is a standing right here as a mid laner, or even right here, and that way you see vision. I say standing in this brush is a bit safer. That way, if they come from up here, you can actually see them when they walk this close. If you stand right here, they could come up behind you technically. Very rarely that will happen, but you want to provide some kind of useful vision for your team. But now, moving back into laning phase. Done grilling there. Okay. Keeping up the APM, I like it. Alright. So level 1, what is your plan?
Just stay safe. I've really been trying to focus on staying on the end of my base zone, in lane. So it's something I've been really working on. So, yeah, I just really don't want to die to Annie early and just stay safe and farm up.
Okay.
Till 6 was generally my mindset.
Okay, so yeah, game. I definitely agree with that for in quite a few areas. One, I definitely agree that as Malzahar generally, especially pre-6, you don't want to be in an awkward position in lane where you are in this kind of position actually. It doesn't really matter at level 1, but of course later this is a bit risky because hypothetically Jax can come at you at a better angle from here instead of you being behind and just run straight beeline to your turret. If you're at an awkward angle like this, he can come from way more angles and really punish you for it. But another thing also, to talk about your level 1 plan, I agree against Annie, just farming, you don't want to become Jax bait. You don't really want to give him an opportunity to gank you. But one thing I want to talk about there is that you're pushing the lane right now. So it's kind of going against what you originally said where you want to play a bit safe, because you came into the lane auto-attacking and pushing like crazy. You're still doing it. And also, when you're throwing these extra auto-attacks out, they're just making you miss CS too. You missed 2 CS there just by kind of throwing out those ruthless mouse bolts. So that's something too. I wouldn't hesitate to allow Annie to push me in a bit. Right where you are now is fine. Obviously, getting under turret's a little bit obnoxious because it's going to be a little bit hard to CS, especially as someone that isn't as warmed up and the best CSer in the world being a silver 5 player too. So you definitely don't want to be under turret. But pushing up also puts you at risk for Jack skinks, right? So it's risky. Like the ward, right around perfect timing. Yeah, so this ward will see Jax here if he walks up just slightly closer. I like how you're standing on the side that you ward to. That is the ideal spot. Okay, he was in vision there, so it's knowledge that your team could have. So here it's creating like a slow push, and this is kind of like the product of us like slamming E onto the minions and auto attacking a bit, which is seen as like Malzahar's overall play style, but you have to be extremely careful like as Malz, because you're just like like Malz is just like the freest ganks ever, coming from like someone that jungles a lot. I love camping Malzahars for that reason, because they push a lot without thinking. You can get heavily punished for it. So right now, if I was in your situation, I would want to push like you're doing now, just to reset the wave. Yeah, so I would just hardcore. I would use my voidlings and help me just get the wave reset. What I mean by resetting is just getting it to the turret so the minions clash.
Yeah, I was very aware that like I was really pushed up, and that's why I was like sitting so far back there, and I felt like I just couldn't really push in the turret because voidlings die so fast.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Just need to get it out of there. Get it out of this spot because it keeps getting back. See, we're still stuck in it. This is the worst place to be. The absolute worst place to be as a mid laner. Alright. And we've been stuck here for like 3 waves now. We're about to be stuck there for another wave. Luckily, like, Jax hasn't really ganked us yet. And he has level advantage, so respecting her is a good idea. She just gave us a free. That's cool. Now it's pushing into you, but it doesn't really matter because you have Master E. It's not like he's going to be ganking before you're level 6 anyways. So this is like an ideal spot to be in. Oh, the turret. This is robbing us blind. Yeah, I feel like exactly what I just said is like what you said. You're like, I need to get to make sure it doesn't push back in. That feels bad. And he could just W and melt all of your voidlings now.
That's the thing about new voidlings. Feels bad.
Yep. So now we're 6. I mean, potentially now that we're 6, like, especially at this point, we should push and just reset here. Like, after these 2 minions, I'd just recall. Should definitely recall here. Yeah, get out. Go. JDK, are you still watching? All right, so we got our recall timing down. Good time to recall. Looks like we're going straight into Morellonomicon. So we are like 13 CS down, a little bit rough. I feel like that is in some ways credited to us being in a bad lane spot. So you kind of felt scared to walk up in CS on top of just pushing a little bit early. And that kind of messes up, right? I mean, I watched you miss like 4 CS just by like autoing, and then you're like at an awkward auto time, so you couldn't like actually swing your arms fast enough to get the other CS due to you trying to push all the time. So now I want to pause here, talk about a couple of things. So now we are level 6 and we have like a timing window right now. I would like push up this last wave and then look for a potential roam opportunity. Definitely big. Also place down our pink ward, ideally like now. So yeah, get this wave pushed in as fast as possible because Andy can't match our push. So level 6, it's totally fine to switch our playstyle into heavy push, place ward, roam. Like, potentially. Okay, top died. Maybe bottom. Like, I would just leave lane at this point. Find something to do. Because standing here is doing nothing, and we could just walk down bottom. I think we would have got a gank off here, but they're pushing in too. and they have no vision. Like, of course we don't know that. Okay, he just warded. I think we would have possibly like ran right into Recon as he warded. It's also possible your bot lane would have pushed harder as you were roaming down or something. Now we're gonna get ganked. So we see him coming. Yeah, we're fine. Walk it out. No, don't do it. I think in your mind, maybe you were like, if I ult him, he's dead. You have Yi hovering, which you guys win the 2v2. Yi. He's walking away. You got baited. You got mega debated there. I know exactly what happened there. Yeah. That sucked. I mean, yeah, that's there. I think I would have been in the same position, and I think I would have had the flash too, because you just pieced out the moment that was about to happen. That was a good opportunity, but speaking of opportunities, like I think we would have been on a different timeline if we rotated bot in there and to push out. And I feel like that's a good like mindset to get into as like a mouse player is push roam at 6, especially when you're against a laner that can't like mirror your push potential. It'd be super good. Yeah, just backed up. If she like tried to go into an extended trade there, we would have just murdered her. There it is. There's her flash. Nice. Okay, so now we have Annie slash down. No longer have ult. Now we kind of just push the wave like crazy here. And then recall. We should recall here. We can't do anything. We don't have ult. She's under turret. There's a huge wave. We wanted to recall a while ago. And the main reason why is like not like we're full HP and we're kind of chilling on mana, but we have a lot of gold. So like recalling while she can't recall is a good idea because we get back in lane and then she's forced to recall, or she stays in lane and she has a giant disadvantage. She's already low. So ideally, what's going to happen is we recalled there, we would have recalled on cannon wave, so she wouldn't be able to push back into us. And then she would pretty much either you both recall reset, which you'll have the advantage. Just resetting here in general gives you the advantage. Best case scenario, she stays greedily and tries to push. Since this is low silver, it's possibly that she will. And then she's forced to recall at an awkward time and she misses a huge wave of experience. So definitely recall timing there. A slight window of time that we missed to be able to recall. Like you could recall after this wave too. It wouldn't be that bad. Got Jax here. Stop. Annie almost pulled out a clutch stun. I think she got her Q off on you. I think she actually wasted her stun charge by pressing W in air. And if that happened, then if she didn't mess up, you were dead there too. But overall, we ended up getting punished for not recalling. And we now have Lost Chapter towards us. So now one thing I'm going to mention is something I instantly thought about while we were talking about the beginning and talking about Annie. A big thing and a big reason why Malzahar is pretty good against Annie too is because the combination of his passive plus Banshee's Veil is ridiculously obnoxious to have. It's also really good against Rakan too. So if Rakan W's on top of you and then ults, you block both spells, right? So you'll block the charm and you'll also block his knockup, or knockup then charm, depending on which ability, like rotation he used. And I think Banshee, the combination of Banshee Veil and your passive is pretty important in this game to have. It also would block, as an example, like Jax jump on you, you'll break your passive, and then he'll stun you, and you'll block the stun with Banshee's Veil.
So would I get that after like the Lost Chapter or like the mana item? Or
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is I think actually going Lost Chapter into Banshee's Veil and then completing Morello's would be the correct call, and that would put you at 30% CDR, and then you could just complete. You can get Lucidity boots, and then you'll have 40%. So now we're going against win conditions here of playing pretty safe against Annie, and we're gonna get punished for it here. There goes our ghost. We're kind of using our ult on cooldown without like real solo kill potential. Like you're definitely not gonna be able to solo kill Annie, especially with the build that she has. She has Catalyst, so she has more HP. And I think overall the best decision would be what's this guy thinking? He's crazy. Would be to push and then look for a roam with an ult, or just play it safe instead of trying to aggress, because you're pretty much just creating gank opportunities for Jax over and over again on you. You're giving him pressure when he couldn't pressure anywhere else. So it ends up hurting you a little bit here. We're ahead in CS now. It's good news. It's not fake news, it's good news. Okay. Now here as an example, what I would do is I would just rotate and take like Raptors or something. It's definitely a good habit to get in with Malzahar. Sometimes your jungle may complain, but who cares? As like a control mage that just clears waves over and over again. Like if you don't have a roam opportunity, especially once you're like around level 9, you could just go and just clear Raptors out real quick. Give yourself some extra gold. It's like what Anivias do, etc., etc. Super good.
Yeah, I think I don't do that enough.
Yeah. So overall, the score is 5-4. You kind of pretty much just constantly, like, Jax has been pressuring mid a lot. You're gaining some attention. You haven't really died yet, but you haven't really been able to pressure the map anywhere either. And I feel like actually that's something we could have potentially done in bottom lane a lot. Especially since you have a Leona. There's so much CC to follow up on, especially with Lucian. Could have definitely punished that a bit there. So that would definitely help. As Jax is getting big, yeah. And in my mind here, like in terms of adapting to the game state, I'd be like, okay, Jax is getting huge, Trinity is pretty big. Those are two pretty nasty things to deal with. Like, I would feel like almost like there's a fire under me, and I want to make something happen on the map at this stage, because it's just things aren't really going that hot for you guys, and I honestly feel like you guys get outscaled. So in terms of scaling purposes and like the way the game's going right now, so I'd feel slightly uncomfortable with it. Like right now you guys have a gold advantage. I think that's mainly due to Yee's massive CS advantage, and then shutdown gold. Yeah, shutdown gold also is the reason why. So I would definitely want to be looking to ult somewhere, and that comes down to like the opportunities we had earlier that we didn't capitalize on. But we still have opportunities because we can just outpush Andy and roam. It's just every time something like this happens, like when it's under turret, you need to be like, I need to do something right now. And we're kind of just hovering around, walking around in circles, hanging out. We could be getting Raptors, we could be roaming bottom, doing something. But all we're doing right now is just standing around and waiting for Jax to mess with us again. Definitely be doing more. Here comes our buddy Jax hanging out with us. Hey man, how's it going? Missed you. Leave us alone. Ooh, good flash. Any flash too. But it's putting ourselves in this position over and over again does hurt. Because when you stay in lane when you're pushed up, you're just asking to get ganked, right? So we want to like roam and look for something to happen. Now we're just in some farm zone here. Playing Farmville. It's been reborn. Yeah, now Jax are on bot side. Yeah, this is not that ideal so far. Leave us alone. Ah, rip. 1 for 1 though. The flash ult missed the Q. Hey, but hey, he may actually get turret here. Actually, that ends up working out. Yeah. There, I mean, with that play where you did there, actually, it wasn't that bad. I think I would have done the same thing. Because, I mean, worst case scenario, it's a 1 for 1. And I think a 1 for 1 kind of benefits you in your situation.
But I should have just been roaming bot a
Yeah,
lot.
way
And
early.
like ever since you mentioned that, I've been looking at like the mini map a lot, and they're
Mhm.
just constantly pushed
Pushed
up.
up. Yeah,
So
exactly. You've been just missing tons of roam opportunities over and over again. And yeah, definitely could have made things happen in bot lane. Yeah, because making those kind of things help a ton. And honestly, that's another big reason why Malzahar is good against Annie, is because Annie doesn't have any wave clear. So when she gets this Raffle pushed, there's nothing she can do. Pre 6, I wouldn't look to Raffle push, but post 6, when you have real like roam opportunity with Ghost, I would be looking for that. Here we go. I think you're playing a little too scared right now. Then it ends up being fine. Beautiful. There we go. Nice, nice. Now we just push out mid. Yeah, there's no wave bottom lane, so it's not like you guys could rotate and take the turret. Alright. Kind of being here is kind of risky. Like, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, you guys should be gone. That was just bad on them. I would have been like spam pinging them out, being like, no, and you should be gone too. Definitely want to shop at this point. 1400 on you. That's just failing to reset at the proper time. Yeah, if we backed early, we'd be back in lane now with our gold spent. So now we're kind of hovering.
same problem as JDK.
Yeah. Oh, are we gonna get Raptors now? Nope. Thought about it. Yeah, now like your macros decision should be just like keep mid pushed out and then rotate bottom and get that turret, especially because it's so low. Definitely would have made the difference there.
And now I feel like I'm in a situation where I just kind of have to babysit the turret.
Yep.
So that they don't get it.
Yep, yep. This is where we shine. We have flash.
Jinx is really good against Malzahar though.
Yeah, the rockets just murder your poor little guys.
Yeah.
Even her little miniature projectiles off of Renault's just gonna murder your poor voidlings. Okay. Yeah. One thing I didn't mention, but generally, like when you're pushing a turret and people are sieging, you always want a ward behind you, or even just warding over the wall there would be good. Just so you know, like there you probably would have saved your flash. That didn't happen. I mean, just getting a lot of rotations off and burning a lot of turrets down. Okay, we're finally spending our gold. 2.4k on us. Got our Rylai's now. That's really useful against the enemy team. Slows are going to be so nice. And your team is just getting murdered. But we can clean up here, maybe. Nope. Maybe.
I think I played this really poorly.
Oh yeah, you like were running all over the place. Yeah, if you just ulted earlier, I think that would have been fine, right? Yeah, you like I'm not sure. It looks like you're almost like misclicking or something. And you were like kind of running around there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think I was. I might have lost my mouse. I do that a few times too. I lose track of where the mouse is.
Yeah, because you're running. It looks like you right clicked on the ground there, and then you're like, oh crap, I'm dying. Got an R. Yeah, seems like what happened. I wasn't sure. I was making sure like Recon didn't charm you or something. Yeah, probably it's a mouse thing there. Which in that case, I wouldn't be valuing auto attacks much over positioning, because no matter what, Annie was dead in the moment you pressed R. So it's just, yeah, a small mechanical misplay that ended up getting you killed. Those will happen, even to the best of us. Alright. So dragon spawning soon. Your team is down not that much gold though. And these picks are, yeah, this is nice. You guys could potentially Baron. Lucian's bot side though. Maybe just drag. Yeah, that's a wind dragon. Shame. Yeah. I agree with getting, like, having you guys split off and just dragon turret. Worth it. They really messed up there. Holy moly, they messed up, yeah. A lot of stuff for us here. So we didn't get a turret, at least yet. Need a top lane turret, okay. Not bad. I mean, with that pink ward, I guess I would have probably placed it like here, over there. But either way, I would have died, so doesn't matter. But mainly warding it that deep, it's just so easy for it to get seen, especially with the addition of the bloom. It made these wards like way less worth it.
Yeah, and I feel like with how open the map was for us and how defensive we needed to play, it probably was just a bad idea in general.
Yeah. It's right that we walked like melee range to Tryndamere. It ended up kind of working. It's gonna get 2 kills for your team. Oh, nope, only 1. Rakan's a thing. Yeah, I ended up hurting us. So, yeah, we're gonna get our guys there, so. Man, it kind of hurts. I don't know, like, I really like the idea of Banshee Veils this game a lot, but then it's gonna like overcap CDR us by a ton. Like maybe not going Lucidity Boots, maybe Morello's into, well, like Lost Chapter into Banshee's Veil, into Morello's, into Rylai's, I think into like into Zhonya's, then into like Leandri's would be solid. Because Zhonya's is also super solid against the enemy team.
And Merc Treads?
Or I'd probably go Pen.
Yeah.
Pen boots. Because, you know, getting the pen with Leandri's is overall pretty strong. So final build would be pretty strong as well with a decent amount of utility and survivability against the enemy team. Because Tryndamere could be nasty too, and if just blowing up, like, you know, dropping your E and Voidlings and Zhonyazing could be like the difference in a team fight. Especially with the way current Voidlings are, where they do a ton of damage. And when people like when you Zhonyas and your Voidlings around, they may panic and just get like eaten up like crazy. Right now your team's just getting wrecked. Like you couldn't stop that. So yeah, I would be rotating bottom like right now. Actually, you probably wouldn't stop it either. Like I have no idea what Irelia and you are doing. They're just so out of it. Yeah, you guys just got wrecked on rotationable plays. And it's just like your team sees the score and they're like, oh my, well, I guess after that one play they got a ton of gold, but really you guys weren't, like, even though the score was kind of daunting, you guys weren't even behind that much gold. Just people get tilted and play worse when they're even at a minor disadvantage. Yeah, so we get a kill there, he dies now.
Yeah, he could have just backed off and gave that off, but he was kill hungry.
Yep. Yep. I'm just gonna siege here, and there's not much you guys can do about it. At least just having the wave clear there. So a big thing about here is like making sure you guys get vision, which looks like they're just gonna run it down and get Baron here. Yeah, I'm gonna get Baron. Yep. And personally, like on your level, there was nothing really to be done about that. You guys just weren't ready for it, so they were able to get it. Which will happen. So even with Baron, you guys are only down like 5k. Trendmare's getting caught out. Riley just needs to run. Good, she's playing it smart. There we go. Cool, now they overall can't do too much, they just get Ocean. Now you guys just pretty much have to turtle it out a bit. It's a 4v5 right now, but 4v4 because your Irelia's chilling. Oh god, rip Leona. She flashed. Yeah, your IRL is just so clueless. And getting in these kind of game situations sucks so bad. And this is where, like, as an example, like, if I was in this game, the difference would be, like, the roaming, right? Like, maybe the roaming wouldn't have worked, but generally, like, definitely was highly likely to work and get more of a snowball for your team.
Especially with a Lucian and a Leona to, like, hard engage off of, like, an ult of mine, like,
Yeah.
it should be pretty hard for that gank if anything lands for, like, them to get out at all.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with I shouldn't have been pressuring Annie as much and focusing more on bot lane and just pushing her under turret because I wasn't gonna kill her.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you were pressuring Annie a ton by just keeping her under turret. You didn't have to like try to like throw out random poke under turret and like try to ult her at full HP. Could have just been just looking for roam opportunities. And at worst, if for some reason your bottom lane was pushed up, like taking like Raptors as an example would be fine. Just getting yourself any lead that you can possibly get. But definitely, yeah, it was a huge thing of those roam opportunities. Because when you play a champion like with like Malzahar, you don't get like unless you're against like an assassin and they constantly run at you, you don't get tons of opportunities for kills until you're level 6. And then it's up to either your jungler, like if you have a high kill jungler and the enemy laner is someone that's gonna be trying to kill you, then you know you can just communicate and get kills over and over again. Or you want to roam and you have Ghost help you with your roam opportunities, and you have tons of push. That in this matchup, Andy can't mirror the push, so she can't follow you either. So because she's gonna be pinned in her turret. So that was like our big condition there that we didn't follow, and that gets us in a situation where we leave it up in the air, right? Like that's when it comes down to relying on teammates and rotational plays for it to work out. You guys got a good fight here. That was sick. And pretty big. Goes over for the Jinx. What should we get? Yep, we got Jinx too. Nice. That kind of sucks because they're just taking. Wow, you got the inhib. That sucks. That sucks so bad. Yeah, because we can't capitalize on anything. We're just playing tower defense for the next like 5 minutes. Literally tower defense.
Yeah, and I'm like the only one that has any kind of clear. So like I felt like I kind of had to stay back and farm all the waves because no one has like the clear potential that I do except for maybe Master Yi.
Yeah. You guys are just stuck in base pinned with your one turret. Of course, this is like just nasty. Coming back from this would be really hard. I definitely think ulting earlier would have been like the most correct decision. Like just ulting Tryndamere there, I think would have saved some people. I think it's likely going to work out just fine though. So you guys get the turtle out a little bit longer, maybe. The Winions. Yeah. Yeah, and then them getting Baron is just GG, because triple wave plus Baron buff is going to be nasty. Tryndamere tried to do something stupid. That's a good way to throw a game, though.
The amount of times I saw that while I was in bronze.
Yeah. I think we actually had a game like that when I was coaching you, where I think that happened when one of your teammates tried doing that and you guys lost the game for it. Good times.
Just suiciding into the Nexus.
How far we've come. Yeah. Yeah, so this game overall, like, you played lane phase pretty well. It was just knowing what to do after you got the first step, you know? First step, keep her pushed in. Second step, look for roam opportunities if there are any. If not, then just look for farm. Worst case scenario, we're stuck with exactly what happened essentially. And we left ourselves open for lots of ganks too, so Jax was able to create a lot of pressure as well, which sucked. So yeah, I mean, overall, this one, yeah, I'm glad that you're able to see it, because on the minimap, you were just watching it after we mentioned that there's so many gank opportunities on bottom lane that could have happened, even if it costed our ghost and flash. Maybe we ghost there, and like we start ghosting around Dragon Pit, maybe like right here, so we ghost through the ward, and they react to you, maybe almost on perfect timing, but we can, since we're so fast, like we can get there and maybe just flash ult, right? And that's huge. for a free kill, and then just pressure the turret as an example and get things down. Meanwhile, like by the time it gets you to go there, Annie's just like barely clearing the wave that's under her turret. Then another wave will clash, so it's like Annie wouldn't even be to the turret by the time you're like ulting someone. So she's not even able to push that hard. And that's like the story of this game, because there will be games where if you play like this and you don't like like get any roam opportunities, like maybe your team does well and you win, but you're kind of leaving it up to like a dice roll if you're not able to be proactive on the map. Definitely a big thing. Also, itemization, we mentioned it. The overall didn't really get punished for it, but I think it would be really solid, because in the event, like, you guys would get more team fights in the games, like, it would pretty much just secure you not being able to get CC'd by Rakan or Annie, and you'll be able to channel your ult without getting interrupted. Yeah. So, that being said, do you have any questions?
No, I think I learned a lot off of that. So, yeah.
All right, we'll close this one out.